What is going on, guys? So today I want to weigh in publicly kind of about what's been going on with War Thunder and my personal issues with War Thunder. First off, I'd like to say I love the game. I wouldn't be making all this content on the game if I didn't love it, and I wouldn't bitch about it so much if I didn't like it. I would just simply play other games and do other things. Now, I still love War Thunder, and I still do find enjoyment in the game too. I want that to be noted. Lower tiers, this isn't really applicable to them. While there is like a power creep and VR compression and stuff that I do want to talk about that I don't like with the game, I do think there's a lot of good in the lower tiers. The game is still fun, it does still function, and it's not all bad. That being said, last week I believe Orange uploaded a video, fixed the game in 1.91. I watched it on stream, I talked about it, and I think that he hit a lot of the nails on the head. And it kind of made me rethink what I do here and the content I put out and kind of what I could do to maybe, you know, be a little bit more unique, I guess. Not just unique, but also talk about things that I do feel are necessary to talk about. Now, I don't think I'm, at blame here. I'm not saying that, and that's not why I'm making this video. But I do think there are things that I've felt in War Thunder for a while that I have said maybe publicly on a stream about the game. I've bitched about it on stream and whatnot, talked about it, but never really made a full video about it. I just kept on, making the type of content that I wanted to make, live commentaries and whatnot. I do think that War Thunder is in a broken state, and I do think it's going downhill. I don't really like the direction it's going, and if we don't get some of these issues addressed, that might be it. For the past 5 years, or however long War Thunder's even been around, it's kind of operated off of a system of new vehicles, draw hype, builds. The patch comes out, it's kind of broken, there's some spaghetti code in the patch that breaks something else that wasn't previously broken. More people play it, they enjoy it, and then it goes downhill fast, and then for about 2 months, it's on a downward decline until they build hype for new vehicles again. Now, I get why it kind of goes like this. It's a smart move in terms of business. You build hype for these things, and all you have to do is make new content, right? Make new content. But that being said, I think we're at the point in this game where we don't need new content. I don't think new content can fix what we have. I don't think it'll balance what we have right now. I think we need a quality of life update. Operation Health in Rainbow Six Siege, what Ubisoft realized was they had a game that had the potential to be fantastic, had the potential to kill on this market, but it needed to be fixed and overhauled. And what they did was release Operation Health, which fixed a lot of the issues with the game. Siege is still thriving to this day. And I think War Thunder would benefit greatly from this type of patch, this type of update. A quality of life patch for players with decisions made by players to make something happen in this game. BR decompression, bugs in the game, ghost shells, all of these things, they all add up to an experience that can tax you as a player, make you stressed out. People say that that's just to make Gaijin more money. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know what the intentions are, but as somebody who plays the game every single day and plays all of these events and has played in tournaments and done everything, it's really gotten stale at the top tier. I think like anything from 6, 7 onwards is a shit show, an absolute shit show. We can talk about power creep. We can talk about vehicles that have munitions that should not be fighting World War II vehicles. We could talk about countless things. I don't know how to code, and if anybody from Gaijin hopefully is watching this video, I hope you guys do. I don't want you to think that I think I can do my job better than you guys can, because I can't. I really can't. I can't code. I have no idea anything like that. But what I do know is I've played a lot of video games. I've played a lot of competitive video games, a lot of console video games, single-player video games. You name it, I've probably played it before. And in terms of a online MMO such as War Thunder, I've played all the competitors, World of Tanks, World of Warplanes, World of Warships, everything. This game has something very unique about it. I don't know whether it's just the feel. The models are fucking fantastic. They do a great job modeling all of this stuff, and I think we can all agree on that. But the community has turned very toxic recently. And I don't really know why, but I would assume it has something to do with playing the game and making you very angry at the game because of this bullshit past 6.7. You spend your entire time grinding to hopefully get to a top tier. I think that's what most players' goal is. You want to end up in a jet, you want to end up in an Abrams, you want to end up in a T80U. And what this gameplay offers you is not what you think. It's not as fun as you think. You get a lot of bullshit at top tier. A lot of bullshit. For example, today we played 8.0 Italy. One of the worst things I've ever played in War Thunder is 8.0 Italy. Not only do you never get an 8.0 match, but on top of that, the vehicles you face, you don't have the munitions to deal with. And on top of that, when you spawn in your aircraft, you get shot down by SAMs. It's bizarre, and also at 8.0 you can face AH-1Gs, and you get up tier to a 9.0 match, you face XM1s paired with choppers now, and you don't have any choppers for Italy, etc., etc. I don't think I need to harp on that point too much, but I can tell you from personal experience, I've had fun and I've had a lot of non-fun in this game. What I would propose is similar to what Orange said, is some type of poll. I think I could fuck with a poll. I really would like it. But on top of a poll, what I really would like to see, and I think this would make everything easier, because I don't deny that I think part of the issue is coming from how this system's set up for feedback and bug reports and stuff. We're supposed to go onto the forums and make a bug report. How many times have any of you guys gone on the forums to make a bug report? I can't spend 40 minutes of my day making a bug report. If I send the video in and say, hey, this is what happened, or send a clip of what happened in, I think that should be enough to at least indicate that something's going on with this and we need to try to replicate it on the dev server or behind the scenes, however the development process goes. I think that should be enough. I shouldn't have to go to the forum and find out where to go on the forum, sign into a different account on the forum. It needs to be done from in the game or from a clip sent to the devs. And I think an easier way to do this, right? We talked about this a while back. I think actually Orange and I talked about this with a few other people. I can't really remember who exactly was there. This had to be like 3 years ago. I mean, this isn't an issue that's been going on for like 2 months. This is something that we've been talking about for a while. Like, we want a quality of life update. We want something that really fixes a lot of the stuff in the game. And I think the best way to do this is super testers. I mean, I'm sure there are some super testers for Gaijin right now, and I wouldn't have a problem with them signing NDAs. I don't know if they're super testers, of course, but I think there needs to be more of them. And I think the spectrum of people in the super test need to vary from people who are kind of new to the game but have experience playing other games and testing other games, and then people who are veterans of War Thunder, maybe not so much experience testing other games, but they played War Thunder itself since the early times. They know a lot about the game and they've played a lot of it. And these people that are the super testers, who, regardless of signing an NDA, I would sign an NDA and do this and not talk about it at all. But I would like these people to have a direct line of communication with Gaijin, so we don't have to go through the forums, we don't have to go through posts, polls necessarily. I think polls are good, and I think polls would give you a good idea of what the community wants, but on top of that, I think you should have people who play the game and play a lot of the things in the game really tell you what's up. Because as a content creator, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, I know all of the content creators feel this way at least, they've played a lot of the vehicles in this game. They've played a lot of stuff, and the more stuff you play in this game, the more precise your idea of what's going wrong is. So if I didn't have the T80U and I only played the Abrams and I died to the T80U, it's easier for me to say, oh, the T80U is overpowered, until you play that vehicle. And when you play all of the vehicles, you have an idea of how all of these things play, whether or not you've played 10 to 20 games in them, or you've played hundreds, thousands. You understand that there's not an OP factor. That's not really what's making this game bad. It's more about the maps, the map rotation, spawns, where spawns are, certain map setups. Italy, for example, why is it not turned 90 degrees yet? It's terrible. It's terrible. It makes the game boring and monotonous to play. It makes it more of a grind than it needs to be. If we had good maps, Gaijin would still make money. And I think this is the thing that is thrown around a lot, is, well, Gaijin just wants to make money. Well, what I would hope Gaijin understands and knows is that they will make more money if the game is happy the community's happy and it's more successful. Another thing I do think should be taken more serious is the competitive aspect of War Thunder. Can't have it now, considering there's bugs like ghost shells. God forbid a ghost shell happens in a tournament with actual money up. But the tournaments build games. A competitive scene builds games. Look at Siege, for example, Counter-Strike. You know, these are games that are fun to play casual with friends. They're fun to play, but what really draws in a large audience, is the competitive aspect of the game. And what we have right now is the TSS website with very limited options. I talked to Zerba about, having better options. Like, there will be better options for TSS soon, and we will come up with better tournaments. And hopefully that will start to sway the game that direction. But the bugs need to be fixed before the competitive comes. And if competitive comes, I think competitive, when the game's fixed, could bring in more people and make this game even more thriving than it has been in the past or will be. Hopefully it'll bring back old veterans too. There's a lot of people who've played a lot of hours of War Thunder and they're nowhere to be seen anymore because they've just quit. They've had enough of it. And I don't blame them. I've been very close myself. I've taken breaks and hiatuses from War Thunder, and I'm kind of there right now. I enjoy playing with Odd and the G Squad guys at lower tiers right now. I enjoy playing Sims still, but that's about it. There's nothing really else in this game that keeps me happy if I'm playing by myself. I can't even sit down and record an ARB gameplay. I can't. It's fucking abysmal. It is abysmal. It's not fun at all, and there's very little reward for what you're doing in the game. It'd be better to just watch paint dry sometimes when you're playing ARB. People running from you, getting strafed on the airfield, your AA not covering you when you're on the airfield, but their AA one-shotting you from 4 kilometers out while you're moving 600 miles per hour in an F-100. Like, shit like that really fucking gets to you after a while. It just beats you down. Spawning in a Flak Panzer, like the new Flak Panzer with the Roland missiles, I bounced off of an AH-1G yesterday. I bounced off of it. I mean, what else can I say? I shot a missile. It proximity exploded side on next to him and didn't do anything. And then he crashed in a field from the damage I would suppose I did, and I didn't get the kill. He just got a crash. So he's going to get crew locked, which is annoying to him, and I don't get my kill, which is annoying to me. And on the other team, which costs less money, is the ADATS, which has better missiles for killing tanks, better missiles for killing planes, faster missiles, more of them, and a main gun. So all of the balancing issues can be fixed pretty easily, I would hope. And I think that these are the things that need to get nailed down first. We work on, battle rating changes, decompression of the BRs, a better matchmaker. Top tier jets is fucking annoying, and I think the biggest thing with top tier jets is if you play Italy, Germany, or Russia, you're against Italy, Germany, and Russia at a certain tier. Why is there no normal battles anymore? What happened to those? I think events are fun. Flight of the Swallows, where's that been? Why is there no more Flight of the Swallows? And why, when we get a Korean event, is the F2 not in it? You're going to tell me the MiG-15 BIS isn't equivalent to the Sabre F2? Why? How? When? The old event used to have both of those planes fight each other. Those used to be the top dogs that went back and forth all the time. And they're still very competitive with each other. We don't get that anymore. The love is gone. And that's kind of what I feel like. So, decompression, battle ratings, work on that first. Get these matches sorted out. Implement an actual map rotation. I don't know why there hasn't been a map rotation, but I got Poland 5 times in a row today. That shouldn't happen. It's on the website like, oh, this game has 45 maps, play on 45 maps. Where the fuck are they? I don't see them. I see the same 5 maps every day over and over and over again. And they're 5 maps I don't like. All of these sniping maps, these top tier maps that are Fulda, not Fulda necessarily. Fulda's a decent map, but you take Poland, right? And then you get uncircumcised Poland. What they did was they took Poland and just made it bigger. There's so many issues with that map. It's not even, I can't even begin to start. The small version of the map has problems at top tier because of the spawn camping locations and how fast tanks can get from one spot into another. The fact of the matter is, these maps were made for World War II tanks when World War II tanks were the only tanks in the game. and now you've increased how fast tanks get to places, how fast their shots are, how easy it is to hit a dart at 2,000 meters, and then you keep the same fucking map. That doesn't work. That doesn't fundamentally work at all. You are ending up getting spawn camped within 13 seconds of the match, not doing anything because your team's spawn camping them, or you're the one spawn camping. And those are the three options at top tier. Get dick on people, or do nothing. That's it. There's no in between. There's not really a match where that prolongs after a while and, you know, you're having a good battle with people. It's just people corner camping and waiting for you to push through, because these maps are funnels. Most of the maps are funnels for high key point positioning. You know, if somebody knows and they got the in, you know, they know where they should go and they're type 90, they're going to wax your team, you know, and that's not fun. I really don't think that's fun. It's cool to get feeds and stuff, and I enjoy doing well, but at the same time, I get very bored when I just sit there and shoot a bunch of people crossing a field on Poland because I have the OP rock spot and they can't get to see. You know? So these are a lot of the issues I'm having with War Thunder. I think fundamentally the game's good. I get it, and I understand if ghost shells, I will take the fact that ghost shells might be an issue too hard to solve right this second. You know? I'm not saying 1.91 fix ghost shells, because you never know. I don't code. I don't know what the issue is with that. I know there is an issue, and I've had it happen to me, and it sucks. It sucks bad. But I'd rather have BR decompression, less sparks, less fucking... more map rotation, I should say. More variety in that. And less of these constant, I'm at the bottom tier, I'm going to get destroyed, this is how my game's going to go. In the background, this whole game, you've been watching top tier and what I'm kind of talking about. So I hope you understand that as much as it's easy to complain about something, it's hard to identify the actual issues. I'm not saying I'm 100% right on all of these. I would love to hear your guys' comments in the comment section down below. But I think it is time for us to stand as a community and, you know, try to make the game that we love and all came together on work again. Work again the way we want it, you know? Work awesome. Be flawless. Be fun. Because this game has so much potential. There's nothing else like it. And that's kind of why I think a lot of people haven't left, is because nothing does it really like War Thunder. You can fly jets in DCS, you know, and they're fun, but it takes hours of setup, hours of testing, hours of training, hours of this and that, hundreds of dollars worth of equipment to really make it fun, right? You need a joystick, you need track IR, you need to spend hours. War Thunder, you can just hop in. You can play these things. You can play jets. You can play tanks. Steel Beast, for example. How many key binding? You can spend an hour and a half to get 2 kills. Squad. If you want to get in the tank, you have to wait for a match to reroll. There's nothing that does War Thunder the way it does, you know, the way tank combat, helicopter combat, all that stuff. The way War Thunder does it, it's dumbed down enough to where you can just jump into a game, but it's also realistic enough to, like, have these good graphics and still be fun. And I think that's awesome, and I love it, and I'd hate to see this game go down the path that it's going. Does that mean I'm not excited for new vehicles? No. I love to see the way the model team behind Gaijin makes these models. They always look really good. I love it. But, you know, there's a lot of things like, why don't we have bomber cockpits yet? We've had placeholders for 3 years. That sounds ridiculous. That's just one of the small things, and that's an example of what I'm talking about. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Tomorrow's video won't be on this topic. We're going to have a no bullshit review again, but I just wanted everybody to think about this and talk about it. I'll link Orange's video down below. If you haven't seen it for whatever reason yet, go check it out. He states a lot of key points too, which I also agree with. So if you feel like I missed anything in this video and you go watch his video, you might get the gist that I kind of agree with him. And there we go. So let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.